He's kind enough to join us on a very busy Wednesday in Las Vegas. There he is. Old Cory, how are you, my friend? Long time.
Yeah, I'm good, Ariel. How are you, man?
I'm doing great. Wow. Crystal clear internet over there. It feels like you're actually in the room with me right now. What is going on over there?
Good. Yeah, I don't know. The lighting's just really good. I'm sitting in front of the window for you.
It's beautiful. Welcome back. Thank you for doing this. I know you have a busy day of media and whatnot, so I appreciate you very much. Could I ask off the top, why did it take you so long to come back? We haven't seen you since October. It's been almost a year now. Why the layoff?
Yeah, I mean, I needed the time to develop my skills, man. I really wanted to hammer down in a lot of areas that I feel like I needed to hammer down in. I had lost like a couple of really close fights against some of the best guys in the world, and I was just, not happy or okay with losing those fights, So it's kind of hard to develop skills when you're in a training camp training for one guy. So I needed a year to really like solidify a lot of things, get better at a lot of things. So that, when I make this next title run that hopefully is starting on Saturday, I can do that and be active and not have to stress about learning new things.
Was this your decision in that they came to you and said, hey, you ready to come back in April, man? You're like, no, I want more time?
Yeah, I pretty much said that I wanted more time.
Wow.
I wanted to fight in so like a little bit earlier, like I would have been ready in the summer. I would have been cool with that, but it got pushed back till September. And yeah.
Did you feel like it was a mental and physical thing for you? Like you really had to not only give your body a break, but was it part of the mindset as well that you had to work on?
Maybe, I feel like my mindset is really good now going into fights. Like I can enter into that, like just full blown, like savage person now pretty quickly. I did need a little bit of like a nervous system break from fighting, I went through 4 camps because TJ had pulled out of the fight like 2 weeks or 3 weeks before or whatever. So my camps are really hard. They're really regimented. They take all of my energy in my life. And so, yeah, I needed a little bit of like a nervous system break from always having a fight on my mind also. So that was a piece of it. But most of it is me just wanting to develop skills.
You're one of my favorite follows on Instagram because I feel like you're somewhat reluctantly on Instagram. By the way, congratulations on the new name. You're no longer Enter the Sandman 135 or whatever. Yeah. It's like Cory. Why did you change your name, by the way?
I don't know, man. People were just like, people told me I need to be professional. I don't know what I'm doing on the internet, dude. So I just go with what people tell me.
You're fantastic. And also in August, first of all, we have a lot in common, you and I, whether you know it or not. I love a good coffee shop. There's few, like I tell my wife, like my favorite 30 minutes in days if I could go to a coffee shop in the morning and get a cappuccino. You're a big cappuccino guy as well, right?
Every single time or not every single time, but yeah, I'm a big cappuccino guy.
Oat milk or almond milk?
Normal milk, dude.
What? I would have thought. Really?
There's no normal milk. Everyone is on these like fruity. Yeah, no, man. Normal milk, bro. Normal milk is the best tasting.
Captain
milk.
Planet is having the cow's milk? I'm shocked by this. 2% whole milk? What are you having?
Whole milk if I can, man. Whole milk's the best.
Wow. I thought for sure you would have been like, I'm an almond or oat guy. Have you ever had an almond cappuccino?
I don't think so.
Wow. I'm blown away by this right now. I'm shocked. You're down with the cow's milk. I'm a little bit turned off from it. It's kind of gross if you ask me.
Sorry, I'm a half and half guy too. So in my coffee, it's half and half.
Wow.
Yeah.
Anyway, in August. What's that?
You put almond milk in your coffee?
Absolutely. I only put almond milk in my coffee.
That is disgusting. Almond milk and coffee do not belong together.
It's fantastic. Or oat milk. It depends on the brand that they have. I'll ask them. The barista brand, I'm down with that. If they give me like the silk or any, I don't like that. That's it tastes like burnt styrofoam. But I will never have cow's milk in my coffee. Like I'll throw up if I have that.
Oh my God, man. You're losing a lot of street cred. The little bit that you had left is just completely tarnished.
Well, I'm still going to give you props here because in August you had this amazing post, another cappuccino down. So I'm like, yes, cappuccino guy, love it. And you wrote this, trying to figure out how to be a competitive freak of nature and an affectionate, loving creature in the same moment. Serving two altars, tough stuff, life of paying and creating karma ahead. I believe one day I'll figure it out. Got to document my feelings to the public, branding, in another life, on a different planet, on a different plane. You'll get lucky and understand eternity. Till then, enjoying the pleasures that I know. Good luck today, friends. I mean, this is deep stuff while having a cappuccino. What prompts you to, expose your soul like this to the public?
I think that it's like a missing piece sometimes in the human existence, especially like I don't know, man. The only things that I really think about are like I feel like existential things, like where do we come from, where are we going, what are we doing here? Like what's the purpose of all of it? Like those are the things that I think about, man, and I feel like I don't really know why, but those are important things that I feel like people should probably be thinking about. So when I do use Instagram, it's either to like promote something or to like maybe get people to think a little bit about the deeper and more important pieces of life than just the whatever we're all trying to get.
In that post, I don't know if you remember it, like you had some a thing that you opened up with writing. I'm not going to read the whole thing. If you could go into a meditation, what was that you were reading? And I think we just showed it on the screen here for the viewers that are watching right now. Yeah, there it is. What is that?
That's this book called "Be Here Now" by Ram Dass. It's almost become like my Bible in a way. Like I grew up Christian, but I'm not super religious anymore. But it's become like my like peaceful, loving piece of literature that I like to read, and it's fun because it has a bunch of cool pictures and stuff. But it was written by this guy named Ram Dass, who people might know or they might not know, but super interesting guy. He was like a Harvard graduate who like studied like psychotherapy and stuff, and then became like kind of like a monk guru guy, and he just does a really great job explaining things. And yeah, that's one of my favorite books, hands down. I read it almost every day.
You read it over and over again?
Over and over again. It's one of those that I just loop it. I just loop it. Another book that used to be like that for me was The Power of Now. Like I think for like a couple months, I literally just listened to the audiobook of The Power of Now just over and over and over and over again. But yeah, this is my new one that I just loop.
Why did you listen to that over and over again?
It just has like, there's just a lot of things inside of it that take more than just a once over to fully understand. Like even when I read Be Here Now, which isn't even that long, I still get like new little tidbits that, are just important to remember, man. Like the truth, when you hear it, it sinks deep, whether, you're hearing it for the first time or the second time or the third time, it always sinks deep for me.
Did you get more spiritual over the past year?
Yeah, my journey has taken like a little bit more of like I mean, we're all always spiritual, but I guess my journey has become like a little bit more, like I'm a lot kinder and loving and stuff now than I feel like I used to be. So that's like a new thing that I've added into my life. So that's nice.
Were you mean-spirited before?
I think that I wasn't really mean-spirited, but I kind of know that like I'm not like the most warm guy in the entire world. And I think that I want to be, so that's what I kind of been working on.
And who kind of let you know that you're not the warm guy, and why did you decide to try to embrace this?
I've always been like that, man. I've always just I don't know, man. Growing up, I was just kind of like an angry, like colder kid. And that's why martial arts helped me so much, is because it gave me like a physical outlet, and also just the lifestyle and the philosophy of like true martial arts is just something that I feel like I needed in my life, and I continue to need. And so, yeah.
Do you like being more loving now?
Yeah, I think that there's a place for it. I also think that there's a place for like being a badass and being a savage and all of that stuff too. There's certainly a place for that in life too. But I was sometimes a little bit too much on like the competitive, savage, compete with everyone side of things. And, especially like getting engaged last year and, thinking about having a family and all of that stuff. Like it definitely made me turn my attention a little bit more towards being like a really loving person to my fiance and to the family that we hope to have in a couple of years.
Do you think the losses changed you at all? Like, did it make you more humble, or just at least change your approach to life?
No, I still want to win the belt just as bad. Like I'm still that's what I mean too, is it's like, it's a very difficult balance to, be a super competitive, extremely competitive guy for a certain amount of hours during the day and then have to go home and like love my fiance the best that I can and like give her what she needs also. And then also just the other people in my life and my friends and my family that I also want to like show that I love them a lot because I don't know, man, maybe it's an age thing. Or maybe it has to do with the fights. I'm not really sure, but that's what I'm being pushed towards a little bit right now. So I'm just listening to it.
You mentioned something on your Instagram about like the juxtaposition of that life and this life and listening to the hard music. A guy on our show here, Mysterious Frank, is a big music guy, and he's like, I wonder what kind of music Cory listens to, like to go hard. So could you tell us what kind of music do you listen to?
Oh yeah, to go hard, I like kind of like angry rappers. Like I like Earl Sweatshirt. I kind of like Tyler the Creator's older stuff when he was like an angrier dude. Recently, it's been a lot of Little Scrappy. You know, Little Scrappy.
I don't, Frank, do you know Little Scrappy?
I don't
Well,
actually.
all right, there you go.
Yeah, he's from like the era of like Ludacris and 50 Cent and all of
Okay.
those
That
guys.
makes more
But
sense. Yeah.
good one. Yeah, any type of music like I'm not really like an artist guy as much as I'm just like a playlist guy. So I just like hit my Spotify, go to that radio, and then just have those songs play. So I'm not really good with the names and the artists of people, but the Little Scrappy Radio I really like.
Why do you have to get angry?
It's easier to fight that way. It's easier to hurt people when you're angry. It's easier to like be in a really competitive place, I feel like, when you're angry. And it's not like this like super dark, hateful thing. It's just like this, I'm better than you, and I want to show you that I'm better than you, and how dare you think that you're better than me. That's kind of the competitive mindset, right?
So that said, do you prefer when you have like a beef with your opponent, like when there's some kind of rivalry there, like there's tension? Do you feel like you perform better?
I don't know that I perform better, but that's always there, regardless of whether what they're saying or not saying or whatever. Like they're always the person that stands across from me is always the person who's trying to knock me out, and then go throw a party afterwards and like celebrate that like I had this like horrible thing happen to me. That's always who stands across from me in the cage. So it doesn't take a lot for me to like hate them for that reason, but it's not like a person hate. It's more of like a competitive, hey, we're both doing this type of hate. Um, so yeah, it doesn't take a lot for me.
So the reason I asked that is because like there's no tension with song, right? I mean, there's no back and forth. There's no, that's okay with you because you don't need it necessarily.
No, no, definitely not. I don't really enjoy like the drama spectacle piece of the whole thing. Like, I don't really care, like need it or care for it. I don't really think that like, it's, in my opinion, part of, like it can be a part, like everyone's expressions are different in life or whatever. That's fine. But, for me, like martial arts isn't that. Like for me, martial arts is two men competing in a fist fight and seeing who can, dismantle the other person better. That's like a big piece of martial arts to me. So that has nothing to do with drama for me at all. So it doesn't really, I just don't really think about it as much as I guess like the fans do, or whoever else does. I just don't really think that it's like a piece of it. So I kind of, don't value it at all, or really to partake in it or whatever. It's not that I have like negative feelings towards it or anything. I just don't really, it's just not a piece of the whole thing for me.
How do you rate song? Like how, you fought some killers right now at 35, the creme de la creme, all the guys, two of the guys fighting for the belt. Where do you put him right now?
I honestly, I think Song's probably higher than top 10. I think that he's very good. I think he's beaten some really good guys. He beat Cheeto. He beat Casey Kenny, who I think is a good fighter. He drawed with Stamen, but I think Stamen kind of won that fight, honestly. But no, he's on a tear right now. I think he's doing a good job. The whole Song matchup thing kind of felt a little bit left field or whatever, but I think right now it's just important for me to stay in the conversation and for me not to get kicked out of that conversation because I'm sitting on the shelf for a long time. And I think that the way that I stay in this conversation is by beating Song pretty decisively and getting back in the win column.
Were you hoping for a bigger name?
Yeah, I was hoping for like a Marab, an Aldo, a Cruz, or a Cheeto. That's who I thought that I was going to get. And then when those four got paired together, I kind of like was looking at Instagram like, huh, and then shortly after got the call about Song. So, like I said, man, I'm not really tripping about the matchup or the rank number or whatever. Like I want to go out and I want to win and I want to, get back in that conversation.
Who do you think wins, Aljo or TJ?
I think Aljo is going to beat him. I think part of that probably has to do with me counting him out so much against Yan and then and then doing so awesome, to be honest with you. But then from like a technical skills standpoint, I think Aljo has like a lot of really good physical features. Like I think he's like a powerful guy, and I think what he does really well. He gets his hands on people and he takes their back, and I think that he does that for at least 3 rounds. He's pretty good at doing that for at least 3 of them. And I don't really think TJ packs the amount of power to like stop Aljamain from doing that. So that's my take on that fight. I'm typically wrong, so I'll kind of like preface it with that. But yeah, that's how I see that one going.
Does it bother you that TJ's getting a title shot after one controversial win?
I don't really care, honestly. Like I said, I don't really, whatever the UFC match makes or whatever, it feels so out of my control that it's hard for me to even care about. So if it's not me, like if it was me or TJ, then that would like probably bother me. But since it's not, I really have no opinion about it.
Can I ask, do you think O'Malley has a chance against Yan?
I think because it's a 3-round, he has more of a chance, but I don't think he has a great chance, honestly. And I like O'Malley. I don't have really any issues with O'Malley, but if we look at like his track record, he's beaten up some guys really bad, but those guys haven't been super great fighters as far as like the UFC standard of fighter goes. And I think him and Munoz was, not the greatest fight in the world. Like the first round was just like nothing was happening in that first round. And, if you're going to talk a big game, like you got to go out and beat people up. And in the first round, it just like was not a good round. And then in the second round, there's an eye poke, and that's just like, it's like a lame situation in my opinion, but it is what it is.
Do you go out of your way to watch these fights like Cheeto, Cruz, Marabat, like especially the ones in your weight class? I don't know. Like, are you a guy who watches every Saturday or no, you're not?
No, I almost never watch. I only watch when it's my teammates or if it's someone that I really, really enjoy watching. Like I won't miss a Volkanovski fight. I won't miss an Adesanya fight. And then there's a couple other guys too, but no, for the most part, man, like I spend so many hours at the gym all week thinking about MMA that, I don't want to spend every single Saturday watching fights of people that I don't know or that I don't really care to learn from.
Even like this past crazy weekend with Nate, you're not watching that. Wow, that's amazing.
No,
that's amazing.
I didn't. Yeah, people were asking me about it, and I was like, not to be a jerk, but I'm not gonna watch that fight. It's not two of the best guys in the world. If it's not like people like when I was playing basketball growing up, I didn't like watching basketball other than to watch basketball just to learn how to play basketball better. That's always watch sports. So that's why I'm not really into sports, is because I just am only interested in learning from watching the sports. So if it's people that I don't feel like I can learn from, I just won't watch them.
By the way, ever think about going to cross train at CKB? You mentioned Adesanya, Volkanovski, maybe just like a nice little trip. No, just like a week there. I think that'd be cool for you.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know if it's kind of on the other side of the planet, and I kind of like the team that I have, definitely, and I think that the coaching that I'm getting right now is super world class. So I don't super have that desire, but it could be cool maybe one day. I don't know. I would love to train with those guys.
New wrinkle, Ryan Hall. I'd love to hear the conversations between you and Ryan Hall. I feel like you guys could get real deep on stuff.
Oh man, as deep as I like can with Ryan. Ryan is like a super smart guy, man. Like I can't even say it enough. Like he makes me think about things that had never even crossed my mind ever in my life, which, and I'm kind of not the smartest guy in the world. So that's like not a big deal or whatever. But every time I have a conversation with that guy, I feel like I just learn more about just life and everything. It's like really awesome. I'm super pumped that he was able to corner me for this one.
How did this happen? You reach out to him or he reached out to you?
I reached out to him probably like 3 years ago or so now. And I was just like, hey man, like, can I come out and train with you? And he said yes, and I stayed at his house for, however long that was, like a week or whatever. And then ever since then, I've been going out like once every couple of months. And then this year I stayed with him for like a couple weeks. And yeah, I usually just stay at his place. And he came out for this one time. We met Ton Lee out in New Orleans once while he was getting ready for his fight too. So yeah, super happy that he like landed in my lap in life. Because he's been like more than helpful in fighting and also just like learning from the guy about life.
And he's cornering you first time?
Yep, this would be his first time cornering me. Yep.
Amazing. Well, I wish you the best. I know you have to run, Cory, so going to let you go. But thank you so much for squeezing us in. Appreciate you very much. Can't wait to see you back. Good luck on Saturday. Go get him. Always great to talk to you.
Yeah, good talking to you too, Ariel. Have a good one, man.
All right, you too. There he is, the great Cory Sandhagen joining us. Good to have him back.